Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Thursday morning the 25th of July and we're sticking with the Jay Slater case for this video. However, I am going to be live later over on my other channel, Michelle Walks. I do have a second channel for those who are new to this channel, who've just found me and you're enjoying the content. Then you'll also enjoy the content over on Michelle Walks as well. I don't post daily on that channel, but I do post regularly. I do live streams and I do recorded videos over there. So go and check it out. But I'm going to be live over on Michelle Walks later. I'm going to time it for the lunch break of the Ashley Bennyfield trial, which I've really got into. So I'll set the scheduler up, but the judge seems to do lunchtime like whenever he feels like it. So I'm going to go live as soon as the judge calls lunchtime. Over there, I'm going to be talking about Jack O'Sullivan, the missing young man from Bristol in my country, the UK. And also the missing young man, Michael Freeson, who is missing on the Italian island of Sardinia. We've got new details from the parents in both of those cases. So look out for that later. All right, so the UK media is awash with what Ayub Qassim has said in his live streams. Ayub Qassim, of course, one of the guys that Jay went 20 odd miles north with to the little village of Masca. Big mistake. But Ayub Qassim and his friend Rocky have been talking online, and I played some of their live stream yesterday, and yeah, it's very difficult to listen to, innit, bro? So I'm not going to play their words today. I'm going to spare you that. But this article here, this was posted in the last hour as I record this, Nottinghamshire Live. They've transcribed some of it, so I'll spare you the words and I'll read them instead. Also, I want to talk about the search team, the Dutch search team, Signe Sokonden, and something that they've said. I can't see that it's possible at all. So we've got a few things to discuss in this video. So without further ado, let's do it. All right, so the Nottinghamshire Live has taken the time to transcribe some of Ayub Qassim's words. Jay Slater's pal, well, I don't think it's his pal, but anyway, pinpoints one thing Nicola Bulley detective got wrong in Tenerife. Of course, they mean Mark Williams Thomas, who has been doing his own investigation into the case. He's not been a detective for 24 years, an actual police detective. But he does like PI work and stuff like that, consultancy. And he inserts himself. He absolutely inserts himself into high-profile cases. In the Nicola Bulley case, he stood by the side of the River Wire and gave his opinion on the case. That was it. It was nothing more than an opinion. But he has done a little bit more work on this case than he did on Nicola's. So at least that's something. Is every conclusion that he's drawn going to prove to be accurate? I don't know. Certainly, like I and like Christopher Tenerife, the TikToker who has been out there and said Jay is on that mountainside, Jay is down a ravine. And Mark said that as well. But he also highlighted the drug network, and whether there's some connection there, we don't know. But Ayub Qassim, drug dealer, ex-drug dealer, according to Ayub. So, Ayub Qassim and a man thought to be his friend Rocky have taken to social media to address the public's questions regarding Jay Slater's disappearance after being seen with him in Tenerife. In a video, they attempted to dispel conspiracy theories and defend their actions. Qassim insists that Jay's death was an unfortunate accident, saying, "If I'm guilty, then arrest me then. What are you on about? When you are telling the truth, you don't slip up." Well, I don't know about that, Ayub. The person who went to bed, was that your friend or Jay's friend? The duo were some of the last people to interact with Jay before he vanished on June 17th, as we know, and his body was discovered 29 days later on July the 15th. Qassim, who has a past conviction for drug dealing, confirmed that they brought Jay back to the Airbnb at his request. He invited himself. Think, bro. Use your head. How I'm feeling after this? It's mental, mate. It's actually mad. Do you know what I'm saying? It's actually mental, man. When questioned, did he punch him? He said, no, of course not. He had a tragic accident. You know what it's like. Now, look, regarding the stolen watch, if indeed there was a stolen watch, the clip I played yesterday, he went, what Rolex? And just started to play dumb. And his audience realised that he was playing dumb. But he said more. No one took my watch, bro. Why the F would I invite someone who took my watch back to mine so they can sleep on the sofa? Bro, don't you help people? Do you know what I'm saying? No one has ever said that it was Qassim's watch. No one has ever said Qassim had his watch stolen by Jay. It was some random person. Now, I've speculated as to whether Jay went to Masca to get away from the person who he stole the watch from. But we don't even know whether there was a stolen watch. I've also speculated that maybe Ayub and the friend who we now know as Rocky stole the watch from Jay when they got to Masca. Is that what happened? We don't know, and we'll probably never know. Is there a watch? Was that watch found with Jay's body? And he's also told people to have some respect, which I agree with. He's not at his funeral yet. People are still going for his families. People are still going for his friends. Have some respect. I agree with that. But he's talked about Lucy here, and he says, everyone needs to relax, like, leave Lucy alone, because to be fair, Lucy was the first one at my yard saying, yo, like, I'm looking for him, where is he? People do like listening to drama. Well, they do. He confirmed, knowing the group from Lancashire, yeah, of course I did. How else would I be around like? We were doing our own things. We weren't out together because I don't listen to that music. It's not my thing. So, he did know them. Had he just met them? Had he met them the day before or 2 days before? Or was there a longer standing relationship between Jay's group and Qassim? When asked why Jay seemed frightened when leaving the apartment, Qassim said, I don't know why he was scared, and he ain't here to answer the question. I don't want to say. People can be going through something in their head, you know. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I offered him a lift back, but obviously when I wake up, because you've got to remember we came back at 6:30, 6:40 in the morning, like, and he only slept for an hour before I had to move my car. Bro, I'm not driving another half an hour and all this 1 hour, bro. I was in a Cooper estate, zooming the road like. It's not an hour away, it's half an hour. Well, it's probably half an hour if you're driving like a mad clown. It actually is closer to half an hour than an hour. But he refuted the claim that he's still a drug dealer. Everyone's calling me a dealer. I was 19. I'm like 30 now. Everyone asking why he was scared, bro. And I don't know why he was scared. Stop asking me. You're asking the wrong guy. I've got videos on my phone where me and him are videoing Rocky in the car, where Rocky's sleeping on the front. We're just laughing at him, you know. What I'm saying is he was calm. It was a vibe, like, we were just bossing jokes. All of this scared and all of that is like, what you want about scared? Dear me, even just reading the words, it's difficult. Look, was Jay scared? Well, Mark Williams Thomas says that Jay was scared. So where has Mark Williams Thomas got it from? Has he got it from what Jay said to Lucy and Brad and anyone else that he called? What was he scared of? Lots of speculation on that. Is it regarding the stolen watch? Is it just Jay's paranoia due to the substances that he's consumed? When pressed further about the missing watch, he said, I don't know whose watch went missing. You know, furthermore, what watch is it? Question for you guys, because you're all talking about this watch. What colour is it? What type is it? You tell me. Well, apparently it's an AP. We don't know anything more than that. Again, we don't even know whether there was a watch. But he seems very defensive about this watch, doesn't he? Very defensive about this watch. Did Qassim take the watch from Jay? That's why he got all scared and paranoid. On being questioned why he booked the Airbnb under a different name, he said, I drove back to the B&B, not for 1 hour, 20 minutes. I zoomed it in half an hour. I'm a driver, bro. What you on about, like? What you even talking about? Well, that doesn't answer the question. But what he actually said was that he's from the streets. So you always book somewhere in a fake name because you're from the streets. Talked about not having keys to his place. But in a dramatic twist, Qassim alleged that the detective guy informed him Jay had been carrying 2 knives. That's even more mental, like the guy had 2 knives on him. Like we was in danger, let alone. But no one's saying nothing about that. I'm not even going to complain about that. I've been in danger many times. I've been shot at before. All right. So these 2 knives. Now, I talked about it yesterday, and a lot of people in my comments said that the 2 knives had been mentioned before. Lots of people said they couldn't remember where. Some people said Mark Williams-Thomas actually did say that Jay left with 2 knives. And I've gone back and listened to every update Mark Williams-Thomas has put out, and he never mentioned 2 knives. Now, whether he expanded to, I don't know, a media outlet or something that I've missed about 2 knives, but he certainly didn't say it in one of his video updates. There's lots of rumours about the knives, but I don't see any actual facts about it. But this is actually what Mark Williams-Thomas said in his last update. This is from July the 12th. He's not done a video update since then.
On the morning of the 17th of June, on arrival back to the rental, Jay spoke to a number of different people on his phone, and they would describe him as very much awake and still buzzing. As a result of information we've received, we now know that Jay took certain actions whilst at the rental because he was clearly worried about his own safety, and this was shortly before he decided to leave.
So he took certain actions. Is the certain actions taking 2 knives from the kitchen? But Mark Williams-Thomas, as far as I can tell, certainly in his video updates, he never mentioned 2 knives. But did Jay have 2 knives? We don't know. So it's believed that Jay died instantly after a fall or plunge in the harsh terrain. An initial autopsy revealed he'd suffered multiple broken bones. All right, what about this location where Jay was found? In the hours before Jay's body was found, a Dutch search team called Zigny Zoekhonden had arrived in Tenerife, and they were there for the week. So they decided to stay and find and document the exact location where Jay's body had been found by the Guardia Civil and their mountain rescue people. So I briefly talked about them the other day in a video, and there has been more information that's come out based on what these searchers have said. But it's the information that they provided about the search dogs that I really have a problem with. I really do. So police last Monday found Jay's body after 29 days, did not reveal the exact location the teenager fell in the Spanish islands northwest. Jay's desperate family last Thursday deployed Dutch search team Zigny Zoekhonden to find the spot for them. The Belgian Malinois dog called Flex managed to pinpoint the heartbreaking spot where Jay fell to his death. The 3-strong team plus Flex did a 5-hour trek in and out of the remote Barranco Juan López Valley. Now, it is possible to walk the Juan López trail from the road all the way down to the ocean. Many people have done it. It's a hard trek. It's not that far, but it's a hard trek. You don't need ropes, but you do need to be very experienced. And if you go off the path, if you go off that trail, then you get yourself into very precarious positions very quickly. It does seem that Jay has wandered into an area where he absolutely could not escape from, and then he fell. They took pictures and videos for Jay's devastated mum Debbie and dad Warren and brother Zach. The grief-stricken family had already gone some way along the trail to lay flowers, but wanted to know where Jay had fallen and hoped to lay tributes there too. Too dangerous for anybody to go there. Jay's body revealed he'd suffered multiple injuries consistent with an accidental fall from a considerable height. Dramatic images showed the moment a helicopter crewman was winched into the chasm with his arms aloft in a delicate recovery operation. Signe Zokonden shared footage on Facebook showing the area Jay fell and was found 300 yards into the ravine. Esther van Neerbos, who leads the group, last week described the spot Jay fell as difficult and dangerous. Now, this is the problem that I've got. This is the problem. In a Facebook post, the group described how they managed to pinpoint where Jay plunged. After arriving in Tenerife on the Sunday evening before Jay was found, they started trying to retrace the teenager's steps. They said the team with the dogs picked up Jay's tracks at the Airbnb he had left and in the valley where the last phone ping was, just before the phone ran empty. So the team with the dogs picked up Jay's tracks. Now this is, 29, 30, 31 days after Jay walked away from that Airbnb. There is no way on God's sweet earth a dog, a live scent tracker, will be able to track someone's scent, someone's trail 30 days after they walked up a road. There is no way in the world. No way. I want this team, if they're saying that their dogs are able to correctly discern a trail from a starting point and track that person 30 days after, I want them to prove it. I absolutely want them to prove it. The oldest documented scent trail that I can find is 13 days, so 322 hours. The oldest documented scent trail that we could uncover in our research, this is a search team who actually find missing pets for people, but it's the oldest one I can find as well. Detailed in the book The Complete Bloodhound by Catherine Bray and Lena Reed. The authors write about how a new record in man-trailing was established when a bloodhound handler called Norman Wilson and his 3 bloodhounds, Doc Holliday, Queen Guinevere and Big Nose Kate, successfully tracked a scent trail of 3 missing people lost in the wet, dense forests of western Oregon. By the time Wilson worked these hounds, the scent trail was 322 hours old, or 13 days. His hounds led Wilson to the bodies of the missing hikers. So they'd been alive when they set off, but unfortunately, within that 13 days, they died. But the dog was able to track the scent that had been laid down when they were alive. We've heard of tracking authorities who believe that a scent trail vanishes once a person walks on pavement, and others who believe that a scent trail dissipates after 8 hours. Well, it depends absolutely on a whole bunch of factors. At the other end of the spectrum, there are currently a few pet detectives who claim their search dogs can track a lost pet that is several months old. There is even a pet detective who claimed that a specific trailing dog can track a lost pet on a scent trail that is up to a year old. No chance. For decades, trailing dogs handled by volunteers and law enforcement officers have only been capable of following scent trails that are less than 2 weeks old. And yet suddenly, people charging a fee for their pet tracking services are miraculously able to train dogs who can track scent trails that are months old. While making such claims open the door for more business revenue, it enables them to respond on searches where the lost dog has been missing for months. These types of seemingly exaggerated claims put search work and the pet detective industry in jeopardy of being dismissed as a scam. So I want Signe Zokonden to prove to me, absolutely prove to me, that they tracked Jay's scent. Look, they know where Jay started from. So they could walk all the way to that ravine knowing exactly where Jay went. They know the start point and they know the end point. So if they're saying that their dog found the start point and then went all the way to the end point, no, I call BS on this. I really do. I call BS on this. By noon, the dogs were rested to avoid the high temperatures. During that break, the message came in that the body had been found. Where was still unclear. The team's dog, called Fast, then managed to find the spot where Jay's body had been airlifted from. They added, the change goal was now to capture Jay's route as much as possible so Jay's family could get more clarity about his final journey that was too heavy for them to undertake. The next day, a second dog, Signe's Royce, brought the search team to the helicopter site again. On the third day of the search, the third dog, Ziggy's Flex, managed to penetrate to the scene of the accident. A heavy hike of 2.5 hours was covered through rocky terrain with lots of weeds, bushes and cacti. A drone was then used to capture where Jay's body was eventually found after he fell. Ziggy's O'Condon statement said, "At the moment, Flex clearly smashed the final destination. The area and the road to it were checked by the drone. The steep descent down was spared for the team because the drone captured the endpoint 20 metres away from them." So how did the dog get down there? Was this dog a cadaver dog? Because they've been saying he seemed to be a tracking dog, and now suddenly he's a cadaver dog. He could be trained on both. Fair enough. All right. Let's assume he is. The drone footage and the final coordinates were shown to the family in the evening in what was an emotional moment. The Ziggy dogs brought some comfort at Jay's memorial. On the day of departure, the coordinates were confirmed by the police. She added that she urged the family not to lay flowers at the exact spot Jay was found, as it's too perilous. Esther told the Sun, "Every case is sad. It's particularly difficult for mothers. It's never nice to have to search for a young child. Losing your boy is the worst thing you can think about. I think the rescue workers that found him did a very good job. Jay was very young and he did well to get as far as he got. The place he was found is very dry, small valley, very difficult to get into." So that's where people have been laying it, just kind of as close to the V-notch as is safe to go. So Jay went just beyond there. This is the map that the media are going with, and it's this location here. So this is the V-notch, and this is the rock that I used as a locator. And look, that was where I said it was. So there's the V-notch. There's the rock. I said down there. And hey presto, it's down there. Anyhow, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you later. Hopefully you'll join me for my live stream over on Michelle Walks, where I'm going to talk about Jack O'Sullivan and Michael Friesen. So until then, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Go girl. Go girl.